What's up, Extreme Kids of Ottawa and around the world? This is First Lady Kay, and this is your midweek story time, where we are reading my first message Bible, a devotional Bible for kids by Eugene Peterson for ages 4 to 8. And this week, we are going to be reading Seeds, Lamps, and a Harvest from Mark 4. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our Extreme Kids for doing your challenge questions and sending your answers to ottawachurchkids@gmail.com. Be sure to continue doing your challenge answers in a creative way, however you would like to, by a picture or writing a story or a skit or a poem, or just saying them in an audio or visual way. And send them to ottawachurchkids@gmail.com so that we can send you a special prize in the mail for all of your stewardship. So let's get started in our story time. Jesus went back to teaching by the sea. A crowd built up to such a great size that he had to get into a boat, using the boat as a pulpit while the people pushed to the water's edge. He taught by using stories, many stories. I love stories. Listen, what do you make of this? A farmer planted seed. As he scattered the seed, some of it fell on the road and the birds ate it. Some fell in the gravel. It sprouted quickly, but didn't put down roots. So when the sun came up, it withered just as quickly. Some fell in the weeds. As it came up, it was strangled among the weeds, and nothing came of it. Some fell on good earth, though, and produced a harvest exceeding his wildest dreams. Are you listening to this? Really listening? I'm going to ask you, Extreme Kids, your first challenge question. Why didn't all the seeds grow? That is a great question. I'd like to know the answer. Continuing our stories. When they were off by themselves, those who were close to Jesus, along with the 12, asked about the stories. He told them, "You've been given insight into God's kingdom. Do you see how this story works? All my stories work this way. The farmer plants the word. Some people are like the seed that falls on the hardened soil of the road. No sooner do they hear the word than Satan snatches it away, what has been planted in them. And some are like the seed that lands in the gravel. When they first hear the word, they respond with great enthusiasm. But when the emotion wears off and some difficulty arrives, there's nothing to show for it. The seed cast in the weeds represents the ones who hear the kingdom news, but are overwhelmed with worries about all the things they have to do and all the things they want to get. The stress strangles what they heard, and nothing comes of it. But the seed planted in the good earth represents those who hear the word, believe it, and produce a harvest beyond their wildest dreams." Extreme Kids, here's your next challenge question. Is it okay for us to ask Jesus questions? The rest of our story. Jesus went on, "Does anyone bring a lamp home and put it under a bucket or beneath the bed? No. Don't you put it up on a table or on the mantle? We're not keeping secrets. We're telling them. We're not hiding things. We're bringing them out into the open. Are you listening to this? Really listening? Here's your next challenge question. How would you feel if the seed you planted died? Have you ever planted a seed and the plant died? Then Jesus said, "God's kingdom is like seed thrown on a field by a man who then goes to bed and forgets about it. The seed sprouts and grows, and he has no idea how it happens. The earth does it all without his help. first a green stem of grass, then a bud, then the ripened grain. When the grain is fully formed, he reaps. Harvest time! How can we picture God's kingdom? What kind of story can we use? It's like an acorn. When it lands on the ground, it is quite small as seeds go. Yet once it is planted, it grows into a huge oak tree with thick branches. Eagles nest in it. With many stories like these, he presented his message to them. He was never without a story when he spoke. Wow, I like that story. Here's your prayer challenge, X-treme kids. When you pray this week, it says to ask God to help you be more obedient, because obedience is like growing. That'll be such a good prayer. I can't wait to hear you. And here is your living out the word challenge, X-treme kids. Buy a pack of seeds or save some from your fruit or vegetables. Beans or avocado seeds grow really easily. Plant them in a pot in a sunny window. Touch the dirt with your finger. When it's dry, water it. That's great. I can't wait to see what you grow, X-treme kids. Here's part B of your Living Out the Word challenge. Try the same thing with 2 pots of seeds. Put one in the sun and the other in the closet and talk about what happens to each one. That's a great experiment. I wonder you could even do that for a science project for school. I can't wait to see all that you've done and hear all of your answers. Thank you so much, X-treme kids, for being with us in your midweek story time. Be sure to email us your challenge questions at ottawachurchkids@gmail.com. And remember, keep dreaming extreme.